Welcome back to Lincoln Currency, the channel. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1994 Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that, under the right circumstances, could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars, depending on its rarity, mint mark, condition, and historical context. We'll take a deep look at everything you need to know about this fascinating little piece of copper and zinc, how to identify valuable versions of the 1994 Lincoln cent, what errors to look for, and the truth behind some of the eye-popping values you've seen online, including the legendary but controversial claim of a $32 million penny. So, let's begin with a bit of background. The Lincoln cent, as many of you know, was first minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of Lincoln that has remained largely unchanged for over a century. The reverse of the coin originally had wheat ears on either side, known as the wheat penny, until it was changed to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. This design, created by Frank Gasparo, shows the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and if you look closely, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. This reverse was used from 1959 all the way through 2008. So, our focus today is on a Lincoln Memorial cent from 1994. The 1994 Lincoln cent was struck by the United States Mint in 3 locations: Philadelphia, which uses no mint mark, Denver, which uses a D mint mark, and San Francisco, which uses an S mint mark. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced business strike coins meant for circulation, while the San Francisco Mint struck proof coins for collectors. Let's start with mintage numbers to get a sense of rarity. In 1994, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 6.5 billion Lincoln cents, yes, billion with a B. The Denver Mint struck nearly 7 billion. That's a massive number of coins, which means that the vast majority of 1994 pennies you come across are going to be extremely common and worth only face value in circulated condition. But, and this is a big but, not all 1994 pennies are created equal. There are special examples that collectors will pay big money for, and the rarest versions have sold for thousands and even tens of thousands of dollars. One of the first things to check when evaluating a 1994 penny is the condition. In numismatics, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin with no flaws even under magnification. If you find a 1994 penny in mint state, particularly MS 67 or higher, it could already be worth significantly more than 1 cent. According to professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC, high-grade 1994 pennies, especially those with full red luster, designated RD, have fetched anywhere from $50 to over $1,000 depending on the grade and the market demand. Now let's talk about mint marks and what they mean. A 1994 penny with no mint mark is from Philadelphia. A 1994 D is from Denver, and a 1994 S is from San Francisco. The 1994 S pennies are proof coins, which means they were specially made for collectors using polished dies and planchets. These coins have a mirror-like finish and sharp details. They were not meant for circulation and were typically sold in proof sets. A pristine, deep cameo 1994 S proof cent graded PR 70 DCM by PCGS or NGC can fetch hundreds of dollars, especially if it's a top population coin, meaning very few others exist in that grade. Beyond mint marks and condition, error coins are where things really start to get interesting. Error coins are coins that were struck incorrectly due to some mistake in the minting process. Collectors love these coins because they are unique and often very rare. Some of the known errors for 1994 Lincoln cents include double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and die breaks. One of the most famous and valuable types of errors is the doubled die. A double die occurs when the die that strikes the coin has a misaligned or doubled image, causing the coin to show 2 overlapping images. There have been reports of 1994 pennies with doubling on the obverse, particularly around the date, the word liberty, and the motto, "In God We Trust." If you think you have a doubled die, it's important to get it authenticated by a grading service. Depending on the strength of the doubling and the coin's condition, values can range from $100 to several $1,000s. Off-center strikes are another collectible error. If a coin was struck when the blank was not properly centered between the dies, the resulting coin could have a portion of the design missing. A 1994 penny that is off-center by 50% or more and still shows the full date and mint mark can be worth $200 or more, depending on appeal. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the claim that a 1994 penny sold for or is worth $32 million. This rumor has been floating around online for a while, often accompanied by dramatic headlines and clickbait images. So what's the truth? Is there really a 1994 penny worth tens of millions of dollars? In short, no, not in any verified, documented, or auction-recorded way. No reputable numismatic organization, grading company, or auction house has ever confirmed a 1994 Lincoln cent selling for $32 million. These claims likely originate from hoaxes, social media misinformation, or intentional exaggeration. That said, there are indeed pennies that have fetched large sums, particularly era coins or ultra-rare varieties from other years. But $32 million is in the realm of fine art, not pocket change. For perspective, one of the most expensive coins ever sold, the 1933 Double Eagle, went for around $18.9 million at auction in 2021. A 1994 penny would need to have an extreme, one-of-a-kind error and historical significance to even approach that value, and so far, no such coin has been authenticated. However, this doesn't mean you shouldn't check your 1994 pennies. You absolutely should. Many people have found valuable coins in pocket change, rolls of coins from the bank, or inherited collections. The key is knowing what to look for and understanding how condition, rarity, and demand all play a role in value. If you have a 1994 penny that looks unusual, maybe it has doubling, looks off-center, or appears to be a different color or material, it's worth examining further. A simple investment in a magnifying glass or loupe can go a long way. So what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1994 penny? First, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can damage its surface and significantly reduce its value. Next, try to identify the coin using online resources or coin catalogs. Compare it to known errors or varieties. If it seems promising, consider submitting it to a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. These companies will professionally authenticate and grade your coin, which not only helps confirm its value but also makes it easier to sell to collectors. You might also want to check recent auction results for 1994 pennies. Sites like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, and eBay can give you a sense of what similar coins are actually selling for. Be wary of coins listed for millions of dollars with no bids or without professional grading. Those are usually misleading and not reflective of real market value. In the collector market, the reality is that most 1994 Lincoln cents will be worth only face value. But high-grade specimens, proof coins, and genuine errors can command a premium. A top-condition 1994 D penny in MS68 red, for example, has sold for upwards of $500. A rare error, like a doubled die or dramatic off-center strike, can sell for thousands. In conclusion, while there may not be a legitimate $32 million 1994 penny, the 1994 Lincoln cent still holds a fascinating place in U.S. coinage. It's a reminder that history, craftsmanship, and chance all come together in the world of coins. The thrill of the hunt, the possibility of discovery, and the joy of collecting make coins like the 1994 penny much more than just spare change. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just getting started, always keep your eyes open. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful or interesting, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future videos on rare and valuable coins. Drop a comment if you've ever found a cool penny, and let us know what other coins you'd like us to cover next. See you in the next video, and happy hunting! Would you like a downloadable transcript or a version formatted for a teleprompter? Back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating topic that's been making waves in the numismatic community. Yes, you heard that right. we're talking about the 2022 D Lincoln penny. You may have one sitting in your pocket change right now, and believe it or not, there are rumors that some of these seemingly ordinary coins are worth big money. I mean really big. In fact, there are reports circulating that certain varieties have sold for tens of thousands, and in one astonishing claim, even as much as $32 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because we're about to explore every detail you need to know about this coin, from the mint mark to the market value, era varieties, historical significance, and everything in between. So let's rewind the clock for a moment and understand the background of the Lincoln Cent series. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln penny was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, replacing the Indian head cent design by Victor David Brenner. The original Lincoln penny featured the now iconic bust of President Lincoln on the obverse, and it initially had wheat stalks on the reverse, hence the nickname, Wheat Penny. That design stayed in circulation until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse starting in 1959. Now, fast forward to the modern era. In 2010, the U.S. Mint introduced a new reverse design featuring the Union Shield to symbolize Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single and united country. The obverse, however, remains relatively unchanged, keeping Lincoln's profile, a testament to his lasting legacy. Enter the 2022 D Lincoln penny. The D Mint mark means it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the key U.S. Mint facilities alongside Philadelphia, San Francisco, and West Point. In most cases, pennies from Denver are extremely common, with billions produced each year. But 2022 brought some unexpected attention to this ordinary coin. So why all the buzz? It all started when collectors began noticing subtle, and in some cases dramatic, die errors and striking anomalies on the 2022 D pennies. One of the most discussed errors is the doubled die variety, where certain features on the coin appear doubled due to a misalignment during the hubbing process. On the 2022 D, some collectors have reported doubling on Lincoln's eyes, the lettering In God We Trust, or even the date itself. When these doubled dies are verified by third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC, they can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. But it doesn't stop there. Other error types like die clashes, off-center strikes, struck through grease errors, and coins with retained interior die breaks have also surfaced. There are even rumors, still unverified, that a handful of experimental planchets were used, possibly creating transitional error coins that shouldn't exist. Imagine finding a copper penny in 2022 when modern cents are supposed to be zinc-coated with a thin layer of copper. That would be like winning the lottery if it's authenticated. Then we have the wildest claim of all, a supposed sale of a 2022 D Lincoln penny for $32 million. Now let's address that head dash on. At first glance, this sounds implausible. $32 million for a penny? That's more than the most valuable coin ever sold, the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle, which sold for $18.9 million. So is it possible? Here's where things get interesting. There are online claims that a 2022 D penny with an extraordinarily rare misprint, extreme doubling, or possibly a test strike from a different alloy sold in a private sale to a collector or investment firm overseas. While there is no official verification through public records or auction houses, the story has captivated the community. It could be a hoax, a misinterpretation, or an embellished tale, but even the possibility has added a sense of mystery and excitement to the coin. Think about it, you're walking down the street, find a penny, and that exact coin turns out to be worth a life-changing fortune. It's the kind of dream that keeps collectors checking their pocket change every single day. Now, what's fueling this phenomenon? Part of it is sheer curiosity and the thrill of the hunt. With coin roll hunting more popular than ever thanks to YouTube, TikTok, and other social media platforms, people are actively searching through boxes of pennies from banks, hoping to strike gold, or copper, in this case. And anytime someone posts a coin that looks even remotely off, it generates a flurry of activity. Collectors compare notes, submit coins for grading, And sometimes these coins come back with unexpected high grades or rare errors. Let's talk about the grading process briefly. A coin's value isn't just determined by its type, it's heavily influenced by its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless example. Mint state 65 or higher is considered top quality for recent issues. If a 2022 D penny has a major error in grades, say MS67 or MS68 read by PCGS, the value could easily jump into the thousands. Add a rare error or unique characteristic, and it becomes even more desirable. And of course, rarity always drives value. If only a handful of these special 2022 D pennies exist, collectors will pay a premium to own one. In numismatics, the law of supply and demand is everything. The fewer available coins with a specific feature, the more collectors will compete to obtain them, and that pushes the price higher and higher. As of today, verified auction listings show that some 2022 D Lincoln pennies with clear errors have sold for anywhere from $100 to $5,000, depending on the severity and uniqueness of the mistake. For example, a coin with a dramatic off-center strike or a rare die break might be worth hundreds. A doubled die, especially if authenticated, could go for over $2,000. And who knows, if a true one-of-a-kind variety is found and graded perfectly, sky's the limit. So what does all this mean for you? Well, the bottom line is simple. Check your change. Every penny you come across could be a potential hidden treasure. Especially those with a 2022 date and a Denver Mint mark. Look closely for oddities, anything that seems misaligned, doubled, faded, or struck incorrectly. Use a magnifying glass or coin loupe, and take your time. If you think you found something, take clear photos and consider submitting it to a professional grading service. Even if the $32 million story turns out to be urban legend, the underlying truth remains: rare coins are valuable, and modern coins can surprise us. History is full of examples where something ordinary turns out to be extraordinary simply because someone took the time to look a little closer. It's not just about money either. Coin collecting connects us to history. Every penny has a story. Maybe it passed through countless hands. Maybe it was minted during a time of global change. Or maybe, just maybe, it's the key to a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. So keep collecting, keep hunting, and keep learning. The world of numismatics is vast, exciting, and full of surprises. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future uploads. Drop a comment if you found any 2022 D Lincoln pennies with unusual features. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, happy hunting! Would you like a shorter version or an SEO-optimized title and description for your YouTube upload?